I'm Kalen. For those of you who don't know me, I've had a video of this before. So this is my second time making a video with Nadine. So this is wonderful. We're going to be talking about a lapse versus a relapse because they are two very different things. So I think we're just going to go over the difference between the two and how it affects each of us individually.
Mm-hmm. The reason I wanted to make this video was because I still struggle with when I have off days, I guess, and when they happen, I always feel like I'm not making any progress, and it takes a toll. I just kind of shut down, and it's really hard for me to get back out of the hole that I start digging.
Everybody, for sure.
Yeah.
The reason I wanted to make this video is for the same reason. I was having a really bad couple days actually a few weeks ago, and really thought I was kind of stepping back farther than I thought I was relapsing. And in the moment, it's really hard to convince yourself that you're not. But I realize that now, and yeah, moving forward from there, trying to find better ways to deal with it, of course.
Yeah. For me, a difference between a relapse and a lapse is when you're just having a lapse, it's really just like an off day, I guess, for me. That would be the best way to explain it. Like, I'm not having suicidal tendencies or self-harm thoughts or anything like that. It's really just I don't feel 100%, and I just have to work through that. Whereas a relapse, I feel like it would be those suicidal tendencies, and it would be self-harm thoughts and whatever. It would probably be a lot worse with how I'm, like with like my daily routines and stuff. Like, I probably wouldn't be able to do anything like that. Like, I'd probably just shut down completely.
Yeah. For myself, a lapse. I mean, for me, self-harm was a way of comfort, I guess, to help reduce my level of stress and anxiety. So I feel like a lapse for me, I usually revert back to that. Not as bad as I used to, thank God. But on my bad days, yeah, sometimes it just happens. I try to help myself, I try to find other ways, but sometimes it just gets to that point where I just can't. I just need some relief from that emotional pain. But as long as I know I'm not going as far back as I did before, I think I'm content in knowing that, I mean, as bad as it sucks to have a lapse like that, I'm not relapsing, because a relapse for me would be going completely back, complete regression to the starting point.
Yeah.
You know? As long as I'm not hitting that starting point, I know I've improved. I've come, you know, some way. So just reminding myself of that.
Yeah.
Probably the best way, one of the good ways to help and to differentiate between a lapse and a relapse.
Yeah, I remember pretty well, like, my worst moments. Oh, yeah. And when I'm feeling down now, it's nothing like that. So
that's almost comforting too.
In a weird way. Like,
it is, yeah.
Like, you can still differentiate the fact that, like, you're not that far.
Exactly,
down.
That's true.
Yeah. For me, because these are very individual.
Exactly, yeah. It's very personal, very
like,
subjective.
I'm sure some people might be able to relate to me, and some people are just like, I don't know.
That won't work. Exactly, yeah.
But for me, most of the time, I wake up feeling off, and then it'll just progress if I don't confront it right away. If I'm just like, I'll just brush it off, I just had a bad sleep or something, and then like, things happen and things go wrong, and then it just gets worse. So for me, generally, I'll have a feeling in the morning, and if I don't confront it right away, it does get worse.
Sometimes I've never personally, like, I only wake up feeling that way if the events from the night before, like, transpired to make that happen. But usually there's some type of event, like, sometimes I don't even know what it is. You know, something just happened in the day and it might be upset me more than I knew.
Oh,
so I'll wake up with it, you know what I mean, feeling that way. But usually it progresses over the course of a few days.
Okay.
So I'm like, I feel a little down today, you know, but I go out, do whatever, I'm at work, hang out with the boys, and I feel good. By the end of the evening, when I wake up, I feel a little bit worse. And then, like, that's when I feel like when I have a negative mindset about it, negative things start to happen. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So I make it worse for myself, as opposed to saying, okay, like, I need to stop feeling this way. You know what I mean? I do something that makes me happy, talk to people who make me happy, and then like, you know what I mean, slowly it'll absolve and go away. But I don't know, I feel like, as bad as this might sound, sometimes it's like feeling that way is like almost more comfortable, you know what I mean? Because I felt that way for a long time.
Yeah.
So I think that's why sometimes I don't get rid of it as quickly as I should, and it goes too far.
It does go far sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I don't know. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes like I really can't face it. Like I try. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pray about it or whatever. Because I'm a Christian. I believe in God, right? So sometimes like I'm gonna pray about it or like, you know, read a Bible or whatever it is. But sometimes I just loathe in it. You know what I mean? I just let it kind of happen. And that's probably not the best. But yeah, I don't know. How would I deal with that early? Good question.
I mean, realistically, if we didn't avoid it, we wouldn't let it get that bad. But yet we all have, I have a tendency
no, I think we all
to
do.
just try and push it away. I guess, which realistically doesn't make sense now that I'm saying it out loud, but like, I guess I want to avoid the feeling of feeling bad. So by avoiding it, I guess I'm, like, by not confronting it, I guess I'm just trying not to feel bad, which doesn't make sense really because I just feel worse.
Exactly.
Like when I'm saying it out loud, like everything kind of makes sense to me, but in the moment... trying to explain that, it's like, in the moment, like you're saying, you're trying to avoid it so you feel better in the moment, like temporarily, you know what I mean? Or like, you know, like I can't get worse in that moment.
In this moment, so I'm just gonna
confront it.
Yeah, no, for sure, that's true. I feel like that often. I'm
personally still working on finding the right ways to deal with it.
I'm sure a lot of people are too.
No, absolutely. I'm still looking for the perfect way. I mean, there maybe is no perfect way,
exactly.
right?
There's a different way for everyone.
The one that's been working for me in the past, like the longest, has been exercise. It was great because like I felt good about myself because first of all I went to the gym, you know, I'm exercising, it's good for my body, but then I'm also like physically exhausted kind of. So those feelings kind of like slowly go away.
I am trying to do this, and I do think it is helpful. To talk to someone, just like if you can't get yourself out of this hole, because I tend to internalize everything, so you know, good luck doing that on my own. It's easy to just reach out for help. Like you don't even have to like tell them that anything's wrong or like that you feel like you're relapsing. It's more just like, I'm having an off day and I need you to tell me something funny. Or
exactly.
Just like talk to me or...
Sometimes just a kind gesture, like...
If you keep avoiding it, a lapse could definitely become a relapse.
You just can't get it confused either. Like you can't say like, oh yeah, this is my relapse. You know, don't think of it as, oh, if this keeps happening, I'm going to relapse. Think of it as, this is my opportunity now to find a way to deal with it better, you know what I mean? Or better than last time at least.
Yeah.
So that I don't relapse, you know what I mean? Because no one wants to relapse completely.
Yeah.
No one really wants that. So it's important to really own your own healing too, right?
Exactly.
But I do want to like emphasize one thing though, is like there is no end goal. So if you do relapse, it's
not necessarily a bad thing.
Right, like it's not the end of the world. It's just like, okay, this didn't work for me,
so
let's do something else.
Exactly.
You know,
I tried going left, let's go right this time.
Yeah, so...
That's a very important thing to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
Because, like, I am constantly scared of, like, relapsing or, like, what if I need to go back on meds or something like that. But it's like, if I do, that just means it didn't work for me the first time.
Yeah. I think that's what lapses are too, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Lapses, like, shoot, I'm having a lapse right now because this way of dealing with it didn't work.
Yeah.
So... next time I have a lapse, because they will happen. You know what I mean? It's going to happen for almost everybody. Like, you're going to have a lapse at one point in time, at least. So, yeah, when you try to deal with it, always think of it as, this time I dealt with it, right? Didn't work, so I'm going to try a different way.
Yeah. And
next time it doesn't work again, I'm going to keep trying different ways.
Yeah. But do try.
Exactly, because I feel like when you stop trying, that's when it becomes a relapse, right?
Yeah. Do try. Like, you have to... You want to get better. You don't want to feel this way forever.
So that's always something to look at, you know? Look at your past, see how it was, you know, look at the way, how far you've come, and then look at the future, you know what I mean? Like, look where you want to be, you know what I mean? Where you're working to be, where you're going to be. It's a constant journey, never a destination to the end. You know what I mean? How can I deal with it better than I did last time?
Yeah. And I think that's why a relapse is so hard, because you think you've reached that goal,
Mhm,
and then
mhm.
you're like, no.
Actually, that's a pretty solid point.
Yeah.
Actually, that
So-
probably makes it harder to think like you thought you reached a goal,
Yeah.
a specific part of your life. But I mean, when dealing with stuff like this, it's never
It's never
specific.
over.
You know, it's exactly. You can always like take 2 steps backwards. You know what I mean? As long as you keep stepping forward in the
Yeah.
long run, like that's how you improve. Well, I mean, I hope everyone who watched, you know, learned a little perspective from our perspective at least what
Yeah.
a lapse versus a relapse is, because I feel it's a terms I get very confused
Yeah.
often enough. You know, and I mean, we all define it ourselves, right? We all define it differently
Yeah.
because each person is different. As she said many times, very true. Everyone's going through different things. So, yeah, this was lapse versus relapse. And then next we're going to have acceptance versus
Avoidance.
avoidance.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys.